And I was asked by one of our Sun Prairie members, I'm in Madison, and to come and talk a little bit about why we're doing what we're doing, how is it important to us, and why is it important to you to be involved with us to do this. And so I'll start with United to Men. United to Men, the United to Men has been trying to work on getting a call for a U.S. constitutional amendment to help to get the big money out of politics that we believe is correcting our republic. And we started in 2010, right after Citizens United. That's the key word if anybody knows that word, sentence, or the letters. And since then, we've passed 119 resolutions around Wisconsin, as of today, in communities like Sun Prairie, towns, villages, cities, and counties. The counties are in the green, we're green county there. And we have, right now we have 6 resolutions on the equal ballot, and we're hoping you'll be the 7th, if you would agree with us. And that would put us up to 125 communities that have passed a resolution asking our state to be one of the states to call for a U.S. constitutional amendment. All right, so that's the first step, is to get, and anybody knows the law, we need 34 states to call for an amendment in order to force it into action, right? In order for something to be done in some way. So, so that's what we're, so we passed 119. Nationally, we passed 750 resolutions. In Wisconsin, 119. And 19 states have made this call. Right? So if we were going to call for it tomorrow, we'd be the 20th state. So 19 states have already done what we're trying to get done in Wisconsin. This has been going on since Citizens United. All right, so to get it public. And basically, I hope you've seen some materials that I sent in through the people I was working with. We're looking for 2 points to be clarified in the Constitution. Not to change the Constitution, but to clarify misjudgment in our mind of our Supreme Court in the Constitution. And that is, only human beings are endowed with constitutional rights, not corporations, not unions, not nonprofits, or any other any other man-made entity, right? So only human beings, and none of these other organizations have constitutional rights under the Constitution. That's what we're trying to clarify one. And 2, money is not speech. And therefore, to regulating political contributions and spending is not equivalent to limiting political speech. And if it's been followed these issues, knows that those are the 2 things that have given so much power and money into the system that we believe we are not represented, the money is represented when the laws are written. So we believe that those changes should clarify the Constitution. Why do we need this reform? If you went down and collected polls in the last 5 years, you'd find in a meta review, 80 to 90% of people who replied as the citizens of the United States that two things. One, money is a problem in politics in terms of the integrity of our republic. And 2, we need to do something about it. So that's what the polls are all asking people. And the responses are between 80 and 95%, depending on how the words and where, of course, polls are important to that. And that's affirmed by the fact that every community, not all these communities had a referendum. Some of them just passed a resolution, right? But every community on here that had a referendum has voted yes, with a minimum of 63% yes, average of 78% yes, and in the last year, 3 communities voted 91% yes. And that number's been coming up slowly. And so people in our state, say yes, we need to do this, to have this on the referendum when they vote. One of the reasons that it's a problem is because for communities is that the laws they're passing are eviscerating local home rule and local authority to get things done to protect the citizens of the community. And if we don't change that, we're going to have it constantly, increasingly, we're going to have Washington and Madison making sure that we can protect ourselves in the local communities. And there's so much more to it in terms of the damage by these two things that we can't go into. But one of it is, between 2010 and today, our state legislature has passed 120 laws limiting local rule capability. And they do this quietly. You didn't see it in the media, right? So those are the kind of things that tell us that we have to do this and change this because there's so many ways it's impacted us. We've seen big money come into Wisconsin. The two that I talked about, I want to kind of research all of them as they happen, but in 2014, the Kenosha School Board had big money from out of state, and I forget why the big money was there, but it had something to do that they wanted to accomplish in Kenosha, having to do with schools. And then also there was in Iron County, I think that has to do with the sand mine stuff, if I'm right. Yeah. The big money came into the county board.
Well, you've done a good job, George, of making it clear what the issue is before us.
Okay, so I've got the 5 minutes already here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you have actually. Your 5 minutes are up.
Okay, so I hope the council understands the importance of doing this.
Yes, thank you, George. Are there questions for George while he's here? We don't have the motion yet, so we need that out, but let Steve ask his question. We'll get back to that.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Penn, thank you very much for coming tonight. Myself, I'm Steve Stocker, Maureen Crombie. We're co-sponsors of this.
Yes, okay.
And so we look forward to working with you. But our biggest challenge, I think, right now is educating our citizens.
Yes.
We want, regardless of the issue, we want informed voters.
Yes.
So that they can make up their own mind on this issue. And I think when I go out and speak with my constituents, right now I get a deer in the headlights look.
Yes.
People don't understand what this is all about. So our challenge is going to be going about and educating. Maureen and I tried to accommodate partially this and still work with the open records law, put a media release in the newspaper that spoke to it. And our current newspaper partner thankfully printed it. However, a couple of weeks after that, some of us were surprised to see an editorial come out by our editor that called this a ridiculous referendum. Sure. And so whether it was ironic, maybe it was coincidental or strategic, it went to that newspaper that was in, went to every resident in the city. So what we're looking at, and thankfully my rebuttal was printed by our newspaper, but that only went to paid subscribers. So where we're at right now with this no cost to taxpayers referendum, and I want to stress that, is that we were hoping to be at ground zero and start our education up. But now we find ourselves in a valley because the preconceived notion is this may be a ridiculous referendum. So I just wanted to say that I look forward to working with you and seeing what we can do to come up with some kind of an educational program that will possibly convince our citizens, including our editor, that maybe this is not such a ridiculous referendum.
I will work with you. We have strategies. We work with every community that we work with. That's what we call pre-ballot education and launch.
All right. John, do you have something?
I just have one question. Could you hold that map back up again? I thought I saw Dane County is marked in green. Is that accurate?
Dane County is green.
And so they've taken, you're suggesting that they've taken a countywide referendum on this.
All of these Green County tax.
I thought I recalled that.
Yes.
So what you're asking us to do is not just vote on it as a county, but now vote it on as a city?
Well,
Is that not duplicative?
yes. We are building a movement. This is going to take a movement.
Would you
Right? And in order to build a movement, we have to educate. All right? So education is not about the ballot, but about what this country needs. And so Dane County and Madison, Wisconsin, of 750 were the first two in the country. to have on the ballot. The group I'm with started up right away and got those two. You can see a whole bunch have been added since Dane County.
You have more, John?
You've answered my question.
Okay, good. More discussion? No, we don't have the motion yet. So
I was just gonna make the motion to,
Well,
or Al, do you want to make?
yeah, I mean, Al,
I move approval.
how about a second?
I'll second.
Oh, okay. All right. Is there more discussion now on this, John?
I've been a member of this body for a really long time. I've very consistently suggested that we vote on issues that directly affect Sun Prairie. We've already voted on this once in Dane County. This is, I mean, I get that it's a movement, go educate people, but I think that this body is best spent, the time is best spent working on issues that are local issues and leave these issues to be lobbied with members of Congress and the Senate. I'm not going to vote no because I don't disagree with your position, but I very consistently suggested that we focus on Sun Prairie rather than national issues, which we have very little ability to affect.
Additional discussion?
Just to respond to Alder Freund, John, I completely understand your position, but my side of it, or my belief, is that our citizens deserve the opportunity to do both. They have the opportunity to vote on, something that would affect the nation in addition to the city.
Additional discussion?
I guess I would just respectfully ask, are we in Chicago? I mean, vote twice? I mean, you do realize that there's some irony in the fact that not only are we going to vote in Dane County, but now we're going to vote in the city of Sun Prairie. I just think that duplicative effort like this is, I mean, are we going to come back to the ballot box over and over so it continues to be a movement and it continues to be an education? I just don't find these sorts of exercises to be productive exercises.
All right. Additional discussion? Al?
Yes. The big money is current favor in our capital, in the state, is current favor in Washington, draining funds away from our community that we need for our roads and bridges, for our schools, for our policing, for our youth programs. And so it does affect us directly as the big money carves out more and more for themselves and less for other people, as they corrupt our government where people contribute millions of dollars to judicial candidates, and then those judges have the gall to hear cases involving their big contributors, and that then affect us and take our power away. So I disagree that it doesn't affect us. It affects us very much, and the more the voices are spoken, the more the state politicians see that there's 80–90% approval, the more political pressure it is for them to join the ranks and get this constitutional amendment accomplished. Thank you.
Emily?
I think it was Alder Jacobs, when we had this discussion at Cal, he spoke about how many other big changes in our country over time, the women's right to vote, things of that nature, start at the local level. And so I think the argument that, well, this is a national issue, so let's keep our nose out of it, that's really a moot point in my mind. You don't have to vote for this if you don't want to, but I think our residents will support this referendum, assuming it gets on the ballot, and they have every right to vote on it. And to say that it's not coming for local elections, well, it's already here. Maureen spoke about the involvement in Oklahoma City Council races. They are already in Kenosha. I mean, it's only a matter of time.
All right. Any other discussion on this item? Please read the roll.
Freund,
No.
Guyant,
Aye.
Jacobs,
Yep.
Lindsey,
Aye.
Polanski,
Aye.
Stocker,
Aye.
Connors,
Aye.
Crombie. Aye.
Passes 7-1. We are moving on. You're all set, George.
Thank you for the Christmas present.